Hey, so today we are going to get started on some wreaths for Valentine's Day. I have three I'm going to show you. I just want to show you what they look like in the beginning, and then I will show you actually how I made them. This is the first one. I took a wire wreath form like this from Dollar Tree. I wrapped it in some of this from Dollar Tree, and you can see I did that here. I just sealed it with hot glue, and this makes something actually for the paper to glue to. So then what I did is this right here is all just pages from a book, a paperback book. I don't even know what book it was. It was a book I think I got at Dollar Tree for $1. I pulled out pages and I cut them into 3 by 3 inch squares. And then I used a pencil, just the tip of it, the eraser, to actually push down on it and glue them into place. And I'll show you how to do that on the actual video. The next one I did was this one, this was a wire wreath form, but it's just a circular one. This one I used moss from Dollar Tree, and I used 2 different kinds, and these are little ornaments that were shown right now that they come in packs, I think of 15 pieces. So you can glue these on as well. And then I just made a little bow. So again, everything here from Dollar Tree. And then the last one is more typical Valentine's. Again, it was a heart-shaped wreath form. I wrapped this around it. Then I glued a bunch of the red flowers to it. And I just took the stemmed silk flowers they have at Dollar Tree, and I pulled the flowers off of them and glued them on together. And then I actually took these, which came on these little pink picks, and I took them off of them and glued them on just to make it look a little more Valentine's-ish. But we're gonna look at all 3 of those kinds of wreaths today. I'm gonna show you how to make them. I'm Teresa, and this is Celebration Elevation, and we're gonna get started right now. On this first wreath, I'm using a heart-shaped wire wreath frame. I started with the red decorative mesh and wrapped it tightly around the wire frame, and then I secured it with hot glue in the back. Next, I took red silk flowers from Dollar Tree to completely cover the front. So you can see here, I'm just making sure that everything is tightly wound. This mesh actually serves 2 purposes because it's something for me to glue the flowers onto, and it's also something that's behind the flowers in case there's any spaces where the flowers don't show. So at first I was gonna use my wire cutters to cut the stems short before gluing them down, but then I realized that I could just pop the flower part right off the stem and glue it that way. So if you buy these flower bunches at Dollar Tree, they come with 6 flowers in a bunch. I ended up using 28 flowers for this project. So the 5 bunches cost $5.25. With the wire frame, the mesh, and the pink hearts that you're gonna see, this project came to a grand total of $9 to make. You can see I glue the flowers very close together because I like that look. But when I finished it, I felt like I needed a little something else. That's why I brought out the little pack of pink glittery hearts that were on sticks. And you'll see I just kind of sprinkle them around and glue them on. So there's the back of it, and I'm just putting a little loop of ribbon there so we have something to hang it by. And there you see the little pink hearts. They came on a little stick, so I just snapped them off and then glued them on. By the way, if you enjoy the content of my videos, please hit the thumbs up button on your screen and subscribe to my channel. There's also a bell that you can click, and that will indicate when I've dropped a new video. I think these hearts were exactly what we needed, and it finished this wreath off nicely. This next wreath uses another heart-shaped frame, but I gave it a completely different look from the last one. To make this one, all you need is the wire wreath form, the heart shape, a paperback book that you don't mind tearing apart, and red decorative mesh. So the grand total for the materials on this wreath was just $2.50. The first step in this wreath is to once again wrap the mesh around the wireframe and secure it with hot glue, and then pull out a bunch of pages from any book that you no longer need. Then I cut 3x3" squares out of pages. To get them ready for gluing, I used the eraser end of a pencil in the center of the square, and then I pulled up the sides of the square around the pencil. Next, I just glued them down with hot glue, placing them very close together. And then when you finish, don't forget to turn your wreath over and make a little loop with some ribbon so that you have a perfect place to hang it with. Last but not least, I made a round wreath that's cute for Valentine's Day, but it can also be used for any time during the spring. I used a round wire wreath frame, and I started by gluing some Spanish moss that I got at Dollar Tree. Then I used some floral wire and a few spots just to hold it in place. So next I took some of the greener moss from Dollar Tree. I'm blanking on the name of it right now, but you can find both kinds of moss in the floral department in the craft aisle. So the greener moss is actually, it's almost damp feeling, and so it molds easier to wherever you want to put it. I just glued some of that on top of the Spanish moss, and I thought it looks much prettier. The green looks prettier than the gray, but the Spanish moss makes a nice place for the greener moss to adhere to. Then I found these cute little wooden flowers at Dollar Tree to glue on top. So first I laid them all around so I could see exactly where I wanted to place them, and also to make sure I had enough to go all the way around. And then I went back and I glued them all in place with the hot glue. Then the last thing I did on this one is I just made a little simple bow on the side and tied it on there, and it just kind of finished it off nicely. The total cost of materials on this wreath was $6.25. So as you can see, we've made 3 entirely different wreaths using all Dollar Tree items. They were quick and easy to make and very inexpensive. If you want to see more content like this, check out my channel on YouTube here, Celebration Elevation, and also I have a blog, celebrationelevation.com, where you can see other projects as well. Thanks again for joining me, and I will see you very soon.